happy Wednesday, everybody. My name is Doug the Efficient. I also go by Doug the Foodie, and sometimes my mom calls me Ronald. Actually, rarely does she ever call me that. You have stumbled into or found or been forwarded to Engagement, where we talk about a lot of different things here. So, welcome to Engagement. So people ask me all the time, you've heard this we're now on seventh season, if you can believe it or not. But people ask me all the time, so Doug, you have a channel called Engagement. Is it just for engaged couples? And I say, heck no. It is for me to engage with people that want to have a conversation, or for us to engage with people that are interesting and different and unique. This is a very safe space for curated conversations. There's no politics. There's no room for hate. Only room to celebrate. Now, with that said, you have stumbled onto what we are doing as a wedding, third year of doing a wedding show, introducing couples to really great wedding pros. Now, maybe you're not getting married, but maybe you have an event that you need help with. Take the word wedding out, it's still an event. So, wedding event, corporate event, it's an event. So this series is going to be expanded this year so we can talk to more people, because we've had such a clamoring of professionals that want to talk to you. And we're kicking it off tonight. And I'm really thrilled to have some really interesting people on the channel today. And you'll find that over the next few weeks that there will be maybe no rhyme or reason to who's on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just a conversation that is unique. And today would be probably a really good example of that. We're going to talk to someone who is in the wedding business, has been around a long time, taking care of your sundries, your invitations, your gifts. And then the flip side of that, because of the huge need and request for wedding wagons, so food for your weddings in your backyard, your barn, or your beach. So we're going to talk all of that because we're able to do that here at Engagement. So let's get started. Let's bring in our first one here. And this person, Mandy, has been around a long time in this business. I don't know how she got here. I've talked to her a number of times on the show. She's very talented, very keen eye. So Mandy from All Kindz of Copies, who does all kinds of things really, is here to talk to us. So Mandy, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
How are you? You really should change the name from All Kindz of Copies to All Kinds of ...
All kinds of other things.
Stuff. Yeah. Well, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be back here. I think this is my third time on the show.
Yep.
Like you said, I've been around a long time. I think you're aging me. I've only been around for 26 years in Chatham.
Well, your depth of knowledge exceeds your age. But you do some really great things. Tell me about where you're at, because people may have a hard time finding you. Tell me a bit about what it is you do,
okay,
and how you go about it.
Well, we are located inside the Blair Boot Campus building, 55 Forest Street. It's a beautiful building. There's 28 other businesses in here, very talented people. So if you haven't stopped by, be sure to do so. We have had a few moves throughout Chatham-Kent. We started on St. Clair. We went downtown for a little bit. We've found our home here. We've been printing in the business, or printing in Chatham-Kent, for 30 years as the business is old.
Wow.
I haven't been here 30 years. I'm not that old. But I've been doing wedding and event printing for the last 25 years.
So, I mean, I wanted you on sort of as first. There's no rhyme or reason to some of the guests that happens. I mean, when you expand the show and the lineage of the show, sometimes that's not so easy to do. And I'm finding that out right now. But I wanted you on first because one of the first things you do, once you get that ring on your finger, you need to do a lot of things, including finding a venue. And eventually one of the top 5 things you have to do is pick an invitation and get them going. And you guys do a phenomenal job on that. I want to show you one here. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
It looks like it's got many layers to it. It's got like a band and a pouch and all that. You want to speak to that a little bit?
Well, your invitation can range from anywhere the traditional one layer letterpress invitation right up to acrylic printing. There's no rhyme or reason anymore or rules, I guess, on what we print on. You know, being creative and being custom are what your brides are wanting right now for their weddings and their events. So they come to me with these grand ideas. They want their invitations to be customized to them
Mhm.
and really show their love and their relationship in a print.
And their
So,
individuality, because it's when people open that invitation, there's always some excitement when you get mail, right?
yeah,
Especially you look at the envelope and it's a scripted your name on it and address and it's sealed, and sometimes it's sealed with that little wax, the letter on it, and you get kind of excited to open it. It's special. It's a moment, and the bride and groom are sharing the bigger moment with them when it comes to the small invitation that arrives, and it tells you a lot of what's going on, and it gives you it evokes the theme and the sort of the flavor of what's going to happen.
that's a great word, the flavor. And bride and grooms come to me and they say they want to show something unique that's unique to them in their relationship. I had a bride last year come to me and she wanted a, a paint chip color. And she said, I really love nail polish. That's what she does. She loves nail polish. And she wanted to include this colored nail polish into her invitation. So I thought, what better way than to ask your bridesmaids to be bridesmaids with the color chip that you're going to use for your day in a nail polish. She
Nice.
loved the idea. We put it in a cute little box and we sent them out. And I've had so many requests since then. Something personal to add to those invitations or stationery for your event.
That's awesome. Awesome. Here's another great one. I mean, this is very unique, very well, very, I think, very regal style. The black and white, very formal. It evokes, there's some formality here. People don't realize that these need to go out in advance, and they need to give the details that are important to the day so people understand what it is to expect. So, do you want to talk about the wins and the wets on that?
I always tell the bride and groom for your event, usually let's start planning 6 to 8 months prior to the date. Some brides don't actually have that timeline, and that's fine. We can work within it. But usually 6 to 8 months, you're going to have time to feel out the best timeline for your dates. We send invitations usually about 6 to 8 weeks prior to your RSVP date,
Mhm.
which you're going to want back a month. So you're looking at about 3 months prior to your date to get those invitations out.
Yeah.
So usually those 2, 3 months prior to sending your invitations out is a good time that we can work back and forth to get your invitation and your stationery to be perfect to send out for those dates.
That's important. I mean, you want to make sure everything flows and you have everything in time. And I mean, the sort of the dirty little secret in the industry is that a lot of couples, couples getting married have an A list and a B list. So the A list goes out early, and when they get some no's back on the RSVPs, then they send out the next flood of invites to fill those seats because
Absolutely.
your venue has so many seats. So I love the idea of a vision board, which I think is a really great way to sort of galvanize what's going on here. So this is what one that you've shown me, which I think is ideal
Yep.
of pulling the ideas and the texture, the ideas, the colors, and the look together.
And that's a good thing to bring to all of your vendors, not just your stationery vendors.
Very true.
When we collaborate with the decorators, with your dress designers, with the other pieces that you're bringing in, I always suggest let's create a vision board if you don't have one. We can
Mhm.
keep in the colors, the feel. That way you can carry that throughout your day.
Well, and as a wedding officiant, I love to know what your vision is too, because that gives me a taste of your flavor, so I can customize what I have to say and what I do in the service, and even what I wear,
Absolutely.
based on what your style is. And that vision board really does help to capsulize that for everyone, so you can, at a glance, exactly what's going on. Now, another big thing, and these are really, really trendy, and they've come a long ways. It looks so good. Is bridesmaid boxes.
Wedding party boxes,
Yeah.
bridesmaids boxes. We can put absolutely anything in those. And again, it's like your vision board. Bring me your colors, give me an idea of the feel you want, and we can help gather up all those items that were required for that
I love
box.
that. I
Yeah,
love that a lot. And then also, it's always good to give a favor to your party. So the customized tumblers.
customized drinkware,
Yeah.
very popular right now. Customized apparel, t-shirts. Another thing that we do is pretty cool is we can put a photograph inside a tie on the back. So your groomsmen will have a picture of either them and the groom or someone important to them, kind of tucked in their tie. It's a nice little
Oh,
touch.
that's a nice idea. Someone that maybe has passed away that couldn't be there with you, that can be
Absolutely.
close to your heart. I love that. Great idea. Great idea. And then the other big thing, of course, is when people arrive at the reception, the party, they want to know where they're sitting, and these have become such a way to go, so that you have the board with the everyone's name and number and what table to go to, and then you've got all the corresponding numbers of the tables so they can find it, and all of the sort of branding, really, for lack of a better word, it's branding for your event, again, wedding or otherwise,
Yep.
right, that
That's right.
people can find you. So do you want to tell me a bit about that?
Wedding signage, I guess, stationery for your date, either it be welcome signs or seating plans. We bring in big, bold colors. It's very popular right now to match a reception. It helps the guests obviously find their seat in an
Hmm.
easy manner when they come to the reception. But it also really helps to give a piece of personalization to your wedding reception.
Hmm.
We can do absolutely anything with those, but acrylic is very popular right now for those signage. Uh, Big, bold signs, big, bold colors. You're going to see a lot of that in the trends in the next 2-3 years. So that is something that we love to do because it absolutely, to me, feels like the piece of the bride and groom in
Hmm.
print.
Absolutely. Here's another great example of one here. The
Yes,
welcome sign. I mean, that's such a simple thing, just to welcome people to this event. And when you're hosting a wedding or an event, you want to make sure they feel welcome when they come in. So I love how that matches the whole decor and the look of it, and it just ties it all really well together. I've got one more here I want to show. What's this one here? This is apparel. For whether you're going off on a bridal weekend, or stag and doe, or you've got everyone ready. You can know who the bride is for sure. Um, I know when I go to Las Vegas, you see a lot of that where you know who the bride is because she's
absolutely. And I
decaled.
always say when you print the shirts, make sure you invite the person printing the shirts with you to Vegas because I always want to.
And your favorite officiant, because he's licensed
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. Who would have seen?
Yeah, excellent. So you've been doing this quite a while. You've seen pretty much everything. We're going to come back to you shortly for a tip when we do our tip section, because I know that a lot of couples that are getting married are looking for the tips, and the trends. The trends change so fast, and no matter whether you're getting your ideas off of TikTok or off of Pinterest, they're very fluid, and bringing that to someone who can help you, like Mandy, can take you a long way, so they can understand exactly who you are, and your personality, because you know I know when I talk to couples about their service, I want to know who they are. I want to know what they want, and I want to know what my parameters are when I come to livening things up. And the same works for you, man. You want to make sure that you're going with the proper content, the proper color, and the proper feel, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So um be sure to check out Mandy. Now we're going to be taking a lot of these tips and pull them into a book, into a magazine that we're producing right now. So a lot of that will be there, as well as how to find Mandy as well. We're going to swing, Mandy, a big curve here to food wagons. Food wagons are huge right now. They have been for a while in a lot of other areas, but this way people aren't sitting down to a stuffy dinner. They may want to have a food wagon for dinner, which has been sort of a grazing thing, or they may want to have that for the 11 o'clock food that's coming out. And it's certainly a very cool way to do. And I found a really cool food wagon, sort of our Wednesday wedding wagon theme. and it's the incredible team um, from Soul Kitchen. You could also call it Soul Kitchen, Soul Kitchen. They'll answer to either. But Rebecca and Bronwyn are waiting in the wings right now. Ladies, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, guys.
I like the French
How
fry
you
pillow
doing?
in the background.
Yes. I decided to make it a little fancy in here. Add some fries to the bunch.
Welcome. So you've been hearing part of the
Thank you.
conversation about trends and styles, and you guys are a great add-on to a wedding. And you know that I'm a foodie. That's why I also go by Doug the Foodie. So I was thrilled to have you guys come along and have you be able to introduce you to a lot of people that don't know you. But you go by either Saul Kitchen, which is how your actual last name is pronounced, or Soul Kitchen, which is how I prefer to call you because I think you guys have a lot of soul in what you do. You two ladies are partners in life and partners in work, and really go for the freshest. You are the freshest, local, best, well-produced food, and you guys never miss the mark. It's always on cue. So, I, of course, being the foodie that I am, um, really creeped your page hard and found a lot of really great food. So, tell me how you guys came about first, and then we're gonna look at some of your food.
Well, my wife and I have been together for 8 years, and we've been married for 4. We spent a lot of time running other people's food trucks and ran a bar.
Most of COVID, we ran a bar and a food truck at the back of a bar. So we decided to strike out on our own, and
Nice.
It's been going great so far.
Yes.
Now you guys
going really good. We have.
You guys move around a bit.
Sorry,
You've been
well,
in a lot of different places.
known for
I want to show some of your food because it's incredible, and I have to say that I've had these because they're made from scratch and they're your pierogies. Now, those you can't tell from that picture, but your pierogies are the size of my hand. They're big. Right?
They're pretty big, yeah. They're pretty big,
yeah.
And they're delicious. Don't forget that.
They are good. They are.
I still eat them all the time. So
you're known for that. I want to fly through some of your food just because I think it's phenomenal. If I were hosting a wedding, being of color myself and being a bit of a food fan, I would go for this in a heartbeat, which is a corn dog.
yes,
I think corn dogs are
one for sure.
They're underrated. With some really good mustard or aioli, it's phenomenal. But this is delicious. This is your waffle. Tell me about that. Uh-oh. Did we lose you? I'm going to keep going. So their waffle is a chicken and waffle, and it is gorgeous.
Oh,
there we go.
Made with rice flour. I'm not.
You gotta love the internet. You guys are cutting out a little bit, but I'm going to keep on going because I know your food pretty good.
Yeah.
This for for the 11 o'clock hour when people are hungry, they've been dancing their booty off, and they've had maybe a few libations. This looks phenomenal. This is a brisket sandwich that is gonna cure whatever ails you, and it looks phenomenal.
It's one of my favorites.
Exactly right. And then, of course, the fried chicken sandwich, which there's more meat than there is bun here, which I also like. And I love the fact that you have like some messy food. Like you're gonna get messy. The wedding's over. You're hoeing down and chowing down. But this hoagie with cheese sauce, man, that looks good. But you also have a very diverse menu. including things like kimchi on a burger, on chicken,
Housemate.
or my southern staple, which is mac and cheese, which, of course, I levitate towards. Massive sandwiches like this, and that's healthy because it's got arugula on it. And
Big chunk of feta on there, but this thick too.
Oh, feta, arugula, and what was on the bottom of that?
That's our chicken, and then that's a big chunk of feta, about probably half an inch thick almost. Yeah.
Oh, slap my mama. And then this I caption as OMG. This is a fried bunch of deliciousness. Right? I think we lost you again.
Those are wonderful. Those are our fried onions, and we really love them.
Oh, goodness. And then, of course, who doesn't love a good smoked meat sandwich? Look at the size of that. That's a two-hander. That looks incredible. And a Cubano. I mean, meat on bread with cheese. It's so when brides are looking for something that is different, right? As opposed to the salmon or the chicken or the beef, you guys have opportunity to really get in there and show them what you guys do, your flavor, your style, through the Soul Kitchen, and roll up in the truck and feed the people, and everyone's happy, right? I'm going to say yes.
Right?
Yes.
Perfect. So, any tips for the brides and grooms, Bronwyn and Becca?
Keep it fun, keep it interesting. Make what you like. Make sure you try it before you really jump right in.
I would probably budget between 10 to 15, maybe 20 per person, and expect that to be around the cost that you would be looking at, probably. Or
perfect. Now, do you guys help people with how many portions? Because people struggle with knowing how many portions you need to feed the crowd, right?
Yeah, we can help with all of that. We just need to know how many heads and stuff like that, and what they're looking for. Are they looking for just a snack, or are they looking for the meal?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I've been to enough weddings to know that a lot of couples are looking to do the non-traditional, unseated kind of events, and I know, Mandy, you've seen that as well, where people just after the wedding, they do their photos, they have happy hour, and then they just graze, which is glorious, really, as far as I'm concerned. You can graze from station to station to station, and have your, before you know it, you're full, and you're happy, and it's different than sitting down speeches and people clearing your plate and bringing more. It's just a way more relaxed way to go for weddings. Whether you use a food truck for the actual dinner itself, or maybe you have multiple food trucks, or if you have it as your later meal. So you guys should be very busy this year. This is definitely another busy year for weddings. So I expect that you better
we're hoping
hitch that trailer up and start driving around. So let people know, Becca and Bronwyn, let people know where you guys are at, what's going on with your business. I know you guys right now are on a bit of a sabbatical for winter, but tell us where you're at. I know you guys do out at Twigs as well. So tell us a little bit about where to find you in the next little while. What's going on in your world?
We are actually going to be reading tomorrow. It's going to be our grand opening, and we're going to be here. We are located. We have a location here in Wallaceburg, and
our takeout location here in Wallaceburg will be open, and our food truck probably won't be open till probably March, I think, at this point. Weather's got to warm up a little bit. And then
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
get the food truck full swing of things.
Perfect. Now, are you guys doing any other weekends out at the Twig? That'd be in after March when the truck's back up and running.
Oh yeah, we'll still be out at Twigs. If we're not at an event, we'll be at Twigs on the weekends. I believe is when we're going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And still do our takeout restaurant here in town during the week. So
good.
Yeah. Busy summer ahead.
And you also do freezer food too. People should know that you have takeaway frozen ready to go, which is a lifesaver for some people that have a busy life. So whether you're planning a wedding or not, people still want to eat. So if it's out of a freezer and into your oven, that is also a phenomenal way to go, right?
Easy peasy. Exactly.
Easy
peasy.
Yeah.
Easy. Perfect. I'm going to give you two and Mandy a moment to think about a tip if you have one. I have a tip for our viewers, and we're going to offer a little bit of sage advice when it comes to wedding planning right after this. Now, I get asked a lot, not only as an officiant, but as a planner as well. What one tip would you recommend that I do when I'm planning a wedding? And I tell people all the time, this is my tip. Write down your ideas. Start a board on Pinterest. Capture your ideas. If you can't write them down, start a board so people can visually see. And I'm a visual learner, so that helps a lot. But write things down and try to be organized, because you need to have a timeline. One of the biggest things that I suggest is that when you look at the workbooks that you get from places like the Knot or Bridal or any of those kind of workbooks. Now I'm biased, so take that with a grain of salt. I always tell people to move my role as an officiant up the list. You should order me or engage me before, no disrespect, before you order your cake. Because you can have a cake at your wedding, but without an officiant, it's just a wedding themed party. It's not a wedding. If someone's not there to marry you, you're just getting dressed up and eating cake for no reason at all. So move the role of officiant up. Venues are very important because they can only accommodate so many weddings a day. I can do multiple weddings in a day because I'm very mobile. But it still should be moved up and engage with all of your wedding professionals. So, Mandy, do you have any for us?
I have a few, but I would say number one, be sure to talk to your vendors and see who they work with, because your vendors have a whole bag of tricks with them. And if you're requiring something in our community, your vendors will be able to help you out to find another vendor to help you in the area that you need.
Very true.
Another one is, don't be afraid to step out of the box. Use bold colors, especially in the next coming years. Bold, rich, dark colors are going to be very popular. You're going to see them in your bridesmaids' dresses. You're going to see them in brides' dresses. And also, be genuine. If you want something in your wedding, do it. There's no traditional anymore. So if you want something personalized and you want that there, be sure to do it.
I agree with that. And I want to counter that with an actual example. I had we have seasons that are very busy. This year, it seems like fall is going to be incredibly busy for weddings.
And the colors for falls are going to be gorgeous. Absolutely.
Of course. It's Mother Nature's palette. I had last year, I had a very busy wedding day, several very busy wedding days where I couldn't squeeze another wedding in. So I had a couple reach out and they said, we really want you for our officiant. We've heard great things about you. Your reviews are right on mark. We think that we would gel well together. And that's great. And they gave me their date and time. And I said, no, I can't. I'm off to another wedding. So I said no, moved on. Their wedding pro, their actual photographer, knows me very well. She reached out and said, is there any way what can they do to make it work so that you can do their wedding? And they had to move. All they had to move it was an hour ahead. That's all it took, and I was able to do the wedding. But if their photographer didn't know me well enough to reach out and use what's in her bag of tricks, wouldn't have happened. So yeah, use your pros.
Absolutely.
Very good one. Bronwyn, do you guys have one? They looks. You guys are frozen. You guys were frozen. You guys look so funny frozen though. Do you guys have a culinary tip for couples to? Wait, I think they're still frozen. I'm going to do theirs for them. I would suggest that their tip is to express who you are when it comes to your food.
With food,
right?
Absolutely.
Yep. If you want to have corn dogs or hot dogs, or my son, when he got married, his only wish was that at nighttime that he could have a nacho bar with a fountain of cheese. That's all he wanted. The rest of the day was hers. All he wanted was liquid cheese coming out of the fountain and nachos.
Those pieces really make your guests feel like they know the bride and groom better than they do.
Yeah.
I wish when I got married so many moons ago, there was food trucks there, because I would have had 5 food trucks outside in the parking lot. I think that's just an awesome idea.
Yeah, it is. It's a great idea. So thank you very much for the tips, Mandy. We've lost Rebecca and Bronwyn from Saul Kitchen. They are phenomenal. You'll find them listed on our book that's coming out, our magazine that will be out during this series. We're going to have everyone back again for, here they go. I think they're there. Maybe not. We're going to have all of our pros back for there you are. I think. Are you there? So we're going to have all of our pros back for a bit of a panel where brides and grooms, couples can check in, ask some questions, and get some feedback from all the professionals, all the pros that are on this series. This series is twice the size of what it was last year. And it's going to rerun every week. So if you've missed an episode, you can watch it again. If you missed a tip, you can rewatch it. And we're here to help you capture the magic that you call your wedding. So thank you very much. Thanks for being my guest today. And thank you for watching. And we will see you soon.